Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. I'm Randi Thompson, sitting in for Sam Shad, and today we're going to be talking to James Anderson, the president of Greater Nevada Mortgage, coming up on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
7 at 7 is a newscast built for your smartphone. It's a 7-minute newscast available every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at lvrj.com. We don't waste your time, and we give you the day's top stories.
We at the RJ have noticed some similarities between us and a certain BTS character, RJ.
Plus the latest in Las Vegas business, weather, health, and entertainment news. 7 at 7 streaming now on your smartphone.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
Find your pot of gold at Carson Valley Inn during the Leprechaun Loop Progressive giveaways. Jackpot progresses $2,500 each drawing night up to $20,000. And $10,000 in grand prize giveaways guaranteed Saturday, March 30th. Get your share of Leprechaun loot at the Carson Valley Inn.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, I'm Randi Thompson, sitting in for Sam Shad, and I'm joined by James Anderson, the president of Greater Nevada Mortgage. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You bet. First time on the show, so I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
So, affordability of homes, mortgage interest rates, there's so much in the housing market going on right now. So let's start with, I'm a native. I bought my first house in Reno in 2002 for $180,000. That home is probably now $500,000, and yet wages haven't kept up with that price of that house. So what has made our homes just so expensive in this community?
You know, that's a great question. I get that quite a bit. And honestly, after going through the downturn back in 2008 and seeing what was really a bubble, thankfully this time we don't see it as a bubble. Yeah. It's really supply and demand. More people moving into this area over the last several years than were anticipated, which is great for all the companies moving in, jobs and so forth. And that's a big part of that, because when you have more demand than there is supply, because we've never really fully recovered from the downturn of building homes up again.
Well, it kind of stopped building, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of contractors got out of the business, changed industries, and the ones that made it through can be a little skittish when the market turns a little bit. So they're just not building enough houses fast enough. And you've seen it around the area, more apartment buildings going up than we've ever seen before. And that's not just here, that's nationally, because of the need for housing. I remember when I first moved here about 9 years ago, Tesla had people in the UNR dorms over the summer because they didn't have enough place for the engineers to live. Yeah. So it's really been impacted, and that supply and demand has really thrown the values up. So if you have been in a home for a while or got in even a few years ago, you've got a lot of equity that you've accrued in a fast period of time. Now that appreciation rate has slowed down over the last few years, especially after COVID and so forth, and with mortgage rates going up, you know, people are settling where they're at. But rates have continued to climb at the same time that prices are climbing. We don't generally see that. So that's been a big challenge for your lower income or your first-time home buyers to get into the market.
Yeah. So I don't know if people understand, we have about 7,200 people move into Reno a year. That's 20 people a day. So it's significant. Yes. And I think people need to understand that we're meeting that demand with apartments. Yes. And that's so dense, especially where you and I both live in South Reno. Yeah. It's tough to get into that Safeway store every now and then. But are you still seeing seeing a lot of Californians moving here, out of California, paying with cash? Because that was kind of the nomenclature was, oh, it's all those rich Californians.
It is, and having lived in California prior and benefited from that early in the 2000s, we're still seeing that. You look at the percentage of cash buyers, it's still a pretty good amount in our local area. So when you have the cash out of California coming into here, it makes it tough because as a seller, you want to make sure this is going to close. And the propensity to choose all cash offer is very high because that's almost a guaranteed close, all other things similar, or a large down payment or a decent down payment and so forth. And so it makes it harder for the first-time home buyers to even afford it with the rates where they're at. But if they do get an offer on the table, it's usually through a government-insured loan that has little to no money down and use of a down payment assistance program. And sellers may kind of back away from that if they got a cash offer. So it's very competitive in that regard. As rates increased, that lessened, but if you're a cash offer, rates don't matter. So that's still a factor for sure.
Well, and a lot of the baby boomers who have now seen such a huge gain in their house don't want to sell that house because of the capital gain they're going to have to pay on it. They don't want to have to go out and find a 7% mortgage when they have a 2% mortgage. So are you seeing people just kind of hunkering down, I guess, is the word I would use?
Absolutely. We deal with a lot of realtor partners, and we're constantly tapping them for information, just like they're hitting us up for rates and what's the rates. So we talk to them quite a bit, and a lot of people of sellers have kind of held off because, like you said, that's such a low rate, such a great payment when they locked it in. It's hard to leave that. And then some are turning those into rentals and getting a home equity line of credit to put towards another home, smaller home, downsizing. There's duets that are going up around South Reno as well, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, kind of like the old duplex, but it's separate ownership. So you're seeing that kind of getting more creative, but yeah, that's a challenge. People are kind of sitting on houses, and that leaves buyers in the lurch, kind of waiting for those houses to come up in the market. The good thing is we're starting to see locally, nationally as well as locally, is more listings are coming out. And this is a spring buying season is about to kick off. So every market has some semblance of that. Last year it was pretty dull, but this year looks to be increasing. We're seeing increased mortgage applications January and February, where we normally don't see that pick up. I think in anticipation, and some sellers are waiting till the spring thinking, all right, maybe I'm just going to bite the bullet, because I think people are being more accepting of the higher rates where they're at, because they're not going away anytime soon.
Right. So you mentioned mortgage assistance programs. What are those? Well, I mean, are those, I didn't even think about a mortgage assistance program.
Yeah, absolutely. So DPAs, or down payment assistance programs, Nevada has a few of those that most mortgage lenders utilize through the Nevada Housing Division. NHD and Nevada Rural Housing Authority are another one, and they provide down payment assistance through grants. And the rates of those loans, you do the first mortgage and you do the grant down payment assistance, the rates of those fluctuate depending on how much assistance you're taking. So it's like a menu. I want 5% assistance towards down payment or closing costs, or 0%, and that rate will fluctuate. The more assistance, the rate gets up there. And those can be anywhere from the low 7s to the low 8% range for that, for the government insured programs and so forth. So those are great for first-time home buyers to try and get into a home with little to no money down, and they get some of that assistance. If they have down payment saved up, even better. But those are programs to help. But then you got to find the right price of house, and some people that want to be in Reno may have to go outside to Fernley or O'Fallon. Carson City's running out of homes that are available for sale as well. So you have to kind of go out a little further to bring that median home price down to get into a more affordable range. The Federal Home Loan Bank also has programs that, since I'm owned, G&M, Greater Nevada Mortgage is owned by a credit union, Greater Nevada Credit Union. They're a member of the Federal Home Loan Bank in San Francisco. So they can provide grants for us to utilize as a subsidiary of Greater Nevada Credit Union, and they offer this to other lenders as well. They have what they call as the WISH program. It's for low-income qualifying people to get into a house.
I was just wondering if this is a means-tested thing.
Yeah, exactly. So low-income people can qualify for a WISH program that can give them up to $26,000 towards down payment and closing costs. But the price point of what they might qualify for, because you can only make up to so much amount income-wise. That's tough, usually more popular in rural or southern Nevada where the home prices are lower. And then they just came out with a pilot program last April, which was great. It's from middle income. So anybody that makes 80.1% of the median home value in the region you're buying, up to 140% of the median home value, middle income, qualified to get up to $50,000 towards down payment or closing cost assistance, having to bring in $10,000 of their own, so that's $60,000. And each lender that was approved for this program was allowed to give up to $1 million in funding for that.
Okay.
So we were able to help 20 people at $50,000 a pop get into their first home, which was awesome.
That's great.
We're hoping that program comes back because it was one of the more free ones that just really is easier to qualify for if you meet that median income.
Okay. Well, this is fascinating. I didn't even think about mortgage assistance programs.
Absolutely.
It's good to know. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Unlock the loot this March at Tamarack Casino. Cash and free play giveaways all month, including a progressive jackpot giveaway up to $20,000 and a guaranteed $20,000 cash winner in the Golden Ticket Finale. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low, and our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way, because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, I'm Randi Thompson, sitting in for Sam Shad, and I'm joined by James Anderson, the president of Greater Nevada Mortgage. So, tell me the difference between a credit union and a bank.
Well, that's a great question too. Get that quite a bit. So, banks are for-profit. A lot of them are publicly traded and have shareholders to report to, and profit is a big thing. As a credit union, we serve the underserved. And so we're a nonprofit. The credit union itself is a nonprofit. I'm a subsidiary of the credit union. It's Greater Nevada Mortgage, so I'm a for-profit mortgage company under the subsidiary. But credit unions are not-for-profit, so they can offer more services, maybe perhaps better deposit rates, dividends, and then also could result in lower rates for products and services, car loans, auto loans, personal loans, and so forth. And as a non-for-profit, there's certain benefits to that that go back and forth with banks because they don't have that benefit. But it's really community-based, and that's where Greater Nevada Credit Union, who's actually celebrating their 75th year in existence this year as a Nevada-based financial institution, and I still believe one of the largest based in Nevada financial institutions, which is a great tag that we always like to talk about. But it's community-based. It's for those the underserved. A lot of credit unions nationwide, even locally, started out with a couple of employees pulling funds together to help fellow employees that were underserved and couldn't afford certain things or services. And so that's how it started with Greater Nevada Credit Union. We've gone over various name changes over the years and so forth, but we're celebrating 75 years of helping our communities, and anybody who lives or works in the state of Nevada now qualifies for membership. Membership's changed over the years as far as who qualifies, which is great, so we can help more people, and for us it's help more people live greater. So it comes with a great culture too for the employees and the community. We're heavily involved in the community with a lot of the programs. We help with donations and collaboration with local organizations that are also nonprofit, trying to help certain segments of the community. So for us, it's being more part of the community that we live and work in versus just doing business in it. and that just gives everybody a big sense of pride and community. So
Very
that's
cool.
that's what we really love about
Well, I've
that.
seen it like Navy credit union, but you have to be in the Navy. And
Yes.
like teachers union,
Yes.
credit unions, you can only be in the teachers. So,
Yeah.
but you're just any Nevadan.
We have
Pretty
what's
much.
called a community charter.
Okay.
So anybody that lives or works in all 17 counties, one of the 17 counties of Nevada, they qualify for membership. And that's what we, over the years, have evolved into, because we used to be seg-related, meaning certain employee groups that were part of the credit union. Your employees could benefit, but others couldn't because they weren't part of the employee credit union. And that's gone to community charters, which is far more easier for anybody to qualify if they live or work in the state of Nevada.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're the mortgage guy.
Yes.
Why are mortgage interest rates so high?
Yeah, right? And I wish I could tell you when they would go lower.
Yeah, please.
That crystal ball.
Well, we were talking earlier that Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, is up on Congress today talking about, I'm not going to lower interest rates anytime soon. Yeah. But mortgage rates really aren't tied to the interest rates as much as it is. Well, I guess it is, but it's also inflation, right?
It's various factors. There's no direct correlation to what the Fed does, then this is a mortgage rate.
Okay.
A lot of what the Fed does, mostly what they say versus what they do, has the impact on the economy and the markets. A lot of times when they say they're going to raise rates or reduce rates, it's already priced into the market by the time that happens. So there's no big hoopla on that day. It's more of what they say. Like one of the Fed presidents came out yesterday and talked of there's no urgency to drop rates right now because of the economy being so strong, inflation still being stubborn, and so forth. Well, that affects the market because they're like, oh my gosh, we're not going to drop anything soon. You know, when the year first came out, the markets were trying to push 6 rate drops this year by the Fed, and the Fed was always saying maybe 3, and they're sticking to that. You know, in January or December, it came out that March meeting would probably have a 0.25% rate, drop, and that was a 60% chance, and that dwindled down to nothing, and now it's 99% chance it won't change until probably June.
June or July.
June meeting.
Here,
Yeah. And then maybe one more after June and September. That's Bloomberg and so forth doing their prognostications. But so when the Fed changes the borrowing rate of the banks, and that affects things like the 10-year Treasury, which we monitor in the mortgage market, and then the 10-year Treasury will impact how investors who buy pools of mortgage-backed securities price, secondary marketing departments price loans for each lender. So it just kind of trickles down. So it's an indirect impact, but not a direct one-for-one impact. And with the economy doing so strong and inflation being stubborn, people are still spending at the higher rates, which usually people stop spending, people lay people off, employers don't build, they don't add employees, and everything resets, and then we go forward and drop rates and kind of move on. Those same things aren't happening in this market. It's different, and things change really quick. So it's been a struggle. Mortgage rates got up as high as 8% last year, which really squeezed off any refinances. Few would trickle in here and there if you need to. I was just looking at the debt figures. The national debt, consumer debt, toppled $17 trillion. And a lot of that is credit card debt. Those are double-digit rates, and a lot of those people, it's not a healthy financial situation, and they can't pay the balance every month, and it's really a struggle. And people are making payments on groceries that they buy, and that's going to be a damaging thing for the economy when that bill comes to be due. So our goal is to put them into something that can help. A home equity line of credit, I mean, that right now is tied to prime, which is affected by the Fed. When the Fed changes, that changes, and that's at 8.5% right now. But it's better than 22, 26% on a credit card, and if you're a homeowner, you can take advantage of that, consolidate that in. And then as rates look to move down further, maybe consolidate that with your first mortgage, even if you've got a 3%, but if you can consolidate from 8.5 and rates are now 5 or 6, let's say, effectively that saves you money and helps put you in a better situation. So there's a lot of factors.
I think I just had a financial literacy class.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. I need to go to Dave Ramsey now.
There you go.
I bought my first house in 1992, and it was 12% interest rate.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at, I love the 2 point whatever it was, it's not too long ago. But why are we seeing a fluctuation? I mean, it was just almost down to 6. Now it's back up to 7. Is this for our area, or is this is nationwide?
Nationwide,
right?
yeah. A lot of factors, even global factors, honestly.
Okay.
Chinese economy is struggling, and that has an impact on ours because of the manufacturing that they do and so forth. But, locally and nationally, in the United States, rates were going down, and everybody thought, here we go, we're rebounding. But then inflation's not dropping as fast as it should, or January came out, again, 2 Januaries in a row, where inflation went up. Then they projected it to be flat or down a little bit. Not much, but it went up slightly. So inflation is a big trigger for the economy and the Fed. And the Fed's not going to overpromise, what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. They're trying not to make the mistakes they did back in the downturn of '08. Where they swung too far the other way and they didn't act fast enough to begin with.
They were late to the game on that one.
And you really can't tell till 6 months plus later whether that decision was a good one or not.
Right.
So they're doing the best they can. I can't imagine having that job, but it's impactful.
Yeah, I imagine. I know that. We're going to take a quick break. Great. We'll be right back after this.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, I'm Randi Thompson, filling in for Sam Shad, and I'm joined by James Anderson, the president of Greater Nevada Mortgage. So we've talked about affordability of homes, and homelessness is an issue when you can't afford a home. But sadly, we have a lot of youth homelessness in Nevada, and you guys have a program that's focused on helping youth homelessness. Tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Keys to Greater. That's something that we came up with back in 2021, kind of an initiative on how can we get more involved in the community that we serve. And since we put people into homes and deal with that, we thought, let's tackle the homeless youth population and see if we can't help them get on to self-sustaining livelihoods, upgrade their situation, and eventually, our ultimate goal is to get one of them qualified to be in a home, their own place. So that's something that we started, and what we do is we take a portion of the revenue of every first mortgage that we close and put it into the Keys to Greater bucket. And then we partner with local organizations in the markets that we serve to help provide funding for them to offer additional support services, new programs that maybe they couldn't start before. And our first partner was Eddie House, which started here in downtown Reno 12 years ago. I just saw Lynette Eddie yesterday at a groundbreaking they had at their facility. And what they do is they take youth, generally that's aged out of foster care, 18 to 24-year-old, that for whatever reason were in bad situations, usually came from homes where there was violence or addiction, and it was better to be on the streets than be at home, or families put them in foster care. About 30% of the clients that come through Eddie House come through foster care. Okay. And so these kids, in an effort, Lynette Eddie, she started out as a grad student project and just figured out what is the problem, because you couldn't see them. The kids wear backpacks. They look like any other kid a lot of the times, and you didn't know that they were homeless. And couch surfing, ideally, if it worked out or not. So what they did is create a facility that brings them in even just overnight or come in for a shower. They have programs where they'll be in there for 6 months, housing inside the facility, and they're either working or going to school. There's UNR students that go through the Eddy House because they just don't have a place to live, or they don't have a car to live in. You know, there's all kind of various situations. So whatever causes it is, if the statistics show that if you can get a homeless youth self-sustaining, then it's 85% chance that they don't become a homeless adult.
That's significant.
It's very significant. Yeah. So they're doing great things. They're growing like crazy. They just broke ground on a 36-unit apartment complex that they're going to build in their parking lot, what is now their parking lot. And they're going to be able to house people in there for 2 years as they get on their feet, self-sustaining. And they even help them get into apartments now. They work with them to get vouchers that they can apply towards that rent and help them with job training. Financial services. Greater Nevada Credit Union goes in and does financial education as well. So how to manage your finances, how to save, and the results and the benefits of doing that. So it's a great program that we work with them. We just started working with the Northern Nevada Dream Center down in Carson City, which helps low-income families or homeless families and adults try to get services and get self-sustaining. And the great thing is they have extra resources that they can't utilize that they now provide to Eddy House, whether it's Bomba socks that they get overabundance of, and now they're referring clients to each other that they don't serve. Like NNDC does not serve youth, so they refer them to Eddy House, and they've already had 2 clients go through the program and graduate from those referrals.
Oh, that's great.
So it's the organizations working together through the Keys to Greater program, so we've been very happy, and we continue to grow and just started with an organization down in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for doing that. It's a big issue to tackle. We appreciate that. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate being here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
Snorkel personnel lifts are engineered beyond the industry norm to an uncommon level of safety and durability, and with an eye towards sustainability. They're also designed to be simple to operate and maintain. Snorkel, always at the cutting edge of progress.
Calamity. It lurks around every corner. Or not. That's why UMC Quick Care is around every corner, with locations around the valley. UMC Quick Care, for all your small calamities.
Thank you for listening and watching. You can visit us anytime at NevadaNewsmakers.com. Thanks again.